Hey, welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, so briefly, okay, um, somebody just emailed me about a Kundalini awakening. So, hold on, where's my water? Oh shit. Okay, so I was reading. You know how I was channeling energy. Hi guys. So I'm great, but here's the thing: my energy is way too high. I can't touch my phone, look at my phone. It's glitching. Okay, I have you plugged in and I have certain energies all around. But I got a quick email with not everybody knows what a Kundalini awakening is. And when I was channeling, some people already went through the awakening and it was a slower process. I do feel like somebody is about to go through a Kundalini. It's an awakening. Okay. It's just, we have a word. Okay. And it's kind of rapid. Okay. And when somebody didn't understand, they said to me, how how is it, how does a Kundalini how does it happen too quick? It's not supposed to happen quick. Well, no, they do happen quick. Okay. And that's when, because of certain blockages. Okay, I can get into that too. But that's more that has to do with things that are associated with emotions, not really with the Kundalini awakening I was referencing. Okay, so like really brief. Okay, um, Kundalini, it's energy. Okay, it activates all the chakras. Um, it has to do with our like energy field. Okay, how we step in and out, and higher vibration, lower vibration. It's getting to the spiritual side, like the consciousness, right? Like to really awaken a person. And a lot of times when someone's not awakened, we say when we're not awakened, but it's really the Kundalini that's blocked, because that's what it is. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to have enough life force to actually force it or to activate it. Okay, so it's either spirit can activate it and it looks like it's being forced. Okay. Um, which they don't ever try to do, but that means someone's plenty capable. Okay. Um, but it's supposed to happen naturally as your soul evolves. Okay, is how it's really supposed to go down. Um, because it takes time. You know, it has a lot to do with your nervous system too and your emotions. It's associated to emotions, right? So, but it basically purifies chakras. It's energy that passes through us. Okay, so if anything unresolved is blocking, I think it's going to be, that blockage has to be taken, right? So it could be very painful. Yeah. Emotionally painful. Okay. Um, most people don't even get past the third eye chakra. You know, it's too much. That's when people usually just back away, right? But it's to reduce physical discomfort, really, in the 3D, you know. Um, but it is a lot. It really is a lot to go through. But basically, so I don't think the Kundalini is being, it can be prematurely activated, right? But I feel like this one's being activated so quick. But like when something's prematurely activated, it usually has to do with trauma, past life, things like that, psychic damage, physical damage, crisis, that can activate something out of the blue, that can activate a Kundalini from like opening the right way. Okay. It's like a different way to seek enlightenment, but this was like the only way somebody can be enlightened about something. So, you know, it's something like that. It's why a lot of people back in the day have a bad trip. You know, people didn't realize they were actually activating their kundalini, and then on out, you know, you feel odd your whole life. I can't even explain that. I don't even know why I brought that up. But like, you know, it's being opened for a reason because there's some type of blockage, and I think it has to do with the heart chakra, but it can't just be like heart chakra because there's some type of gift, right, that needs to be activated. So usually like when you're going through like an experience like this, or if it's happening prematurely, which I don't want to keep using the word prematurely because I think it's being caused or like kind of like forced, right? So like especially when there's anger, you know, you got certain boundaries, you know. Anger is our solar plexus, you know. Fear is all about our root chakra. I think that's why it's gonna start there at the root. But the heart chakra, okay, it's all about, that's where we carry guilt, joy, love, sadness, you know, grief, what makes us happy, what doesn't, love, that type of stuff. Um, so it's like somebody's chakras are opening really quick. A kundalini is basically just getting to spiritual awareness, okay, but it's happening really quick. So whomever's experiencing can be experiencing health issues, fear, shame, um, pride, but not healthy pride. You know, go from sad to happy, jealous, frustrated, you know, embarrassment, feeling judged, you know, like that type of stuff. So it can be extremely emotionally painful. Um, but it's basically to get to your higher conscious, okay, yeah, your higher self. So all 12 chakras, okay, being activated, not just the seven that you guys are used to. And now's not the time for me to have this conversation, but this is 12 chakras being extremely activated quickly for somebody to get to their, you know, their spiritual awareness, to get on your spiritual path, that type of stuff. Um, so the crown chakra is probably off and on, off and on. Sexual kundalini is way different. This could have been triggered by something like that. We don't know what triggered it, right? But it's just finding that spiritual essence that needs to be found, and it's being done kind of in a disruptive way, but I think by choice. You know what I mean? Um, I know it sounds awful, like, you know, but it's high energy, so it's hard. You can't experience a kundalini without having to do the work, but I feel like somebody's trying to avoid the work, if that makes sense. It's like training for your nervous system. Gets you to a point where you get yourself out of like discomfort. You know what I mean? Like, just happens. And it's funny because you know how for like the longest time I was like, oh, I think I have that restless leg syndrome thing again. You know what I mean? I was like, what the frig? I can't believe this is happening. Um, I know that's what I was experiencing. So that's the kind of awakening that's kind of like going down right now. It's for a purpose. Like some people may feel like the restless leg syndrome, or can't sleep, you know, mood swings, anxiety, that type of stuff. Burning off and on. You know what I mean? Like burning, like, It could have to do like back pains, something burns, your back burns and then it feels cold, or feel like a electronic um like pulses, vibrations, that type of stuff. Stuff shooting down your legs. Because it affects the nervous system. But it's so you can get to that higher frequency. That's why I was such in a funk too for off and on for 6 weeks, guys. Because going through this is not easy. So it's like at the same time of going through like all that spiritual depression, I was actually going through this type of Kundalini awakening at the same time, where every single chakra is being activated. Like 12 chakras, not just the 7, like really awaken. And once you really awaken, there's no stepping out of that. Okay, so I hope that kind of helped you guys. I feel like whoever's like in this cave is kind of going through the same thing. Lucy's snoring. Usually it can take months to years to complete. Normally it would take months. You know what I mean? But so I feel like it's definitely rising for someone else too. Especially when old traumas need healing. The experience you're going to go through is going to be a lot more discomfort than you would even imagine. It might even feel like disturbing, like mentally disturbing. You know what I mean? Which makes sense because it was trying to find that balance, but like everyone, it's available to anyone. We all, just a matter of whether we want to develop that awareness to spiritual enlightenment. So someone could have possibly had sex 6 to 8 months ago if you've been going through this for a couple months, because sometimes that happens. But you normally would experience sexual Kundalini awakenings, and I haven't really saw that on the board like that, so I feel like it possibly could have happened, but it wasn't actually like it happened through DNA. Like, because there's a difference. Like when you have a Kundalini awakening during intercourse, we all know. Well, we don't all know what that's like, but some of us know exactly what that's like. You know what I mean? But I haven't seen that on the board in a while. So I think if anything, it was activation of DNA which caused the Kundalini. But now somebody else is going through something too for their own soul's growth. So it could be an instant turnaround for some of you. No, it's not sexual healing. It's an awakening through intercourse. But it feels very tantric. It feels very you don't experience it that often. You know what I mean? But I like I said, I haven't seen that on the board in a while, so I feel like it was more definitely of a DNA activation than anything. So, and I think whatever this is, they're coming out of it. Others of you have just fully awakened. I don't know if you realize it yet. Like that's like me. I know I fully awakened to something, but like I may have had like epiphany after epiphany, but like I haven't quite realized how awakened I am. You know what I mean? So like I don't know what's next for me, but I know that I'm fully awakened. So who the frick knows? Eventually we'll figure that out. You know what I mean? but there's no going back for me now. And that brings me back to, the decisions I needed to make. Am I going to move? Am I going to do this? And I decided to stay with you guys because I think that's why there was so much interference with me too, because I was so close to my purpose, but yet it felt so far away that I felt I had to go in the other direction, you know. But then I realized, one of the reads too, it was like that angel interfering with me too, because I almost went the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, no, she just went through all, there's no way we're letting her step out of this. So they moved things up a little quicker for me, but like it also mentally messed with me. So I know some of you, this is exactly what is happening to you right now. And I couldn't see that. Like I just, it wasn't give up mode. It was just, but I think that's why certain people or angels, whatever, something had to step in, because if there would have been no turning back, I would have been completely unhappy in the physical world like that. You know what I mean? Like, so I accepted that, and that's why I think it was so hard for me, So we'll see what happens next. But so for those who are experiencing some things right now, you're pretty much going through an awakening. I think the ones that had the epiphany over the weekend, this is you slowly realizing how awakened you really are. And others of you, it's just the start of an awakening. Okay. And some of you just reached full awakening. And I don't know what happens after that because I just got there. So you guys will eventually figure that out with me. Like, you know what I mean? Fully awakened. There's no going back now. It's just absolutely no going back. I couldn't if I wanted to. So a lot of things are going to start kicking in for me, which I think is amazing. Gifts I didn't even know I had. Stuff like that. Blessings. I just know it. So don't try to fight it, okay? So we'll see what happens with that. So there's a lot of you that are experiencing that right now, but for very good reason, okay? But we've been seeing this purpose on the board for months and months and months. It was time to step into it. I almost stepped away from it out of frustration, lack of hope, lack of faith, here and there. You know what I mean? Questioning everything, not wanting to disappoint the children and not making certain moves. But I know now that I figured something out, the moves are just going to be made. So we shall see. But a lot of you are starting to be awakened. But I don't know. I'm fully awakened. I'm excited to see what's next. Like, it's like, whoa, it's literally one of those moments. Like, I don't know. But it's a blessing. But now somebody else is being activated. So it's kind of like somebody already went through this probably a long time ago. Somebody was spiritual, right? But like needing to catch up. So spirit's definitely awakening somebody so they can let go of past traumas and emotions that just do not serve them. And trust me, that is not easy. I didn't even realize I was going through it. I thought it was more of like a spiritual depression. But see, you know how I named it as a spiritual depression? Because I didn't realize I was going through a massive awakening like that. I didn't realize an awakening took time like that. You know what I mean? So it makes sense that I linked it to spirituality. I knew it was linked. So it's not easy by any means. It's extremely painful. What I went through and the stuff that I didn't even share with you guys. It was awful. but I made it through. I pushed through. And now there's no going back. And I think that angel had to come in and interfere. If I'm going to place myself in that read, like everybody else needs to place themselves, it was for a reason. So there's no going back for me. I can't work 9 to 5. I mean, I can doing this or something that is powerful and that will help you guys. Now it's all about when you're fully awakened, like I am now, which is still mind blowing to say it out loud. Like there's no going back. It's all about helping the collective at this point. You know what I mean? And being happy with that choice. Because that's what you wanted anyway in life. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty exciting. This is just a different type of Kundalini. A lot of people always assume it's a sexual Kundalini. This one was not. It wasn't like that. And I think for me, it took about 2 months, you know? So I'm prepared to work for the collective. But that's also what I wanted from the beginning. But you don't just get it overnight. Shit just doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean? Like it took me, 2 years with you guys to get to a full fucking awakening. Okay? So life, the spiritual journey that I talk about, when I say it's no joke, it is no freaking joke. Because it took me 2 years. 2 years. Because for 2 months, it's now what, December? Pretty much all of December, because I started my channel right after the new year 2 years ago. And for a month, I went back and forth. Do I do it? Do I not do it? So 2 years. Okay. And I don't know. I don't know if a lot of readers are fully awoken. I don't know. I just know I fucking am. And I don't know what to do with it yet. But I chose you guys, and I'm happy with that choice because I was so borderline. And how many times I got tempted. Remember, they came back even harder with me with the job. And I just said to myself, what I need in my life right now, more important to me, for me and my children, the one thing I needed was change. Okay, so I thought I had to make that move, and I was right there about to make it. And then I woke up one day last week and I was like, whoa, not going there. I can't believe I almost went there. You know what I mean? So it's almost like spirit wasn't going to let me not go there. You know what I mean? So that's why they're like, you have a choice. That's why you got tempted. Say no the first time. They came back even powerful. More money, more this, more that. You know what I mean? Like giving more towards where they wanted to put me up. You know, so but I chose not to. You know. So I've always had little epiphany moments here and there, but this is once you're awakened, you're awakened. You know, there's no really going backwards. So, I mean, I'm sure you can fall off the cliff a few times, but like the awakened I am, it's who the frig knows where it's taken me. Okay. But it's happening to someone again right now. I don't think it's going to be much longer before it kicks in. You know what I mean? So I hope that little description helped you guys a little bit, because I think everyone wanted to place it with sexual energy. So, you know, like I said, it helps the soul evolve. So not an easy process by any means. You know. I'm having a hard time. I really want to look at you guys, but I can't. So, not an easy process. And people get awoken as collectives. So it's kind of like in your chart. So it's like being fully awoken. You have every, it's like you have every tool. Now it's how do you want to use it? It's hard for me to explain. You know what I mean? Like you can still be awoken and live in the 3D and not do spiritual work, but you're not on your purpose. There's a difference between being fully awakened and going towards your purpose. You know, so within the time frame of being fully awakened, it shouldn't be long before you find that purpose. Or you could be like an awakened catalyst to help people. It's weird. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I had an experience, it all went down like what, 4 years ago, which awoken me, guys. But there's a difference between, I think, what type of awakening I'm talking about and the type you guys are talking about. And I don't really know what that means, but that's what I'm being told. So again, I'm not positive either. See what I'm saying? Like I'm new to this too. So it will all come to me in due time, but like you know, I don't know how to place it. So, because I had the whole catalyst come in, I went through all that. It was like, oh, it awoken me. You know what I mean? Well, what it did, I think it's more or less, it awoken our third eye and our crown is what it did. Right. which is different somehow compared to what I'm talking about. You know, we're on our journey a whole damn life. When you're fully awakened, the type that they're trying to explain to me, which I'm not quite getting yet, you get on your path. So, yeah, I was awoken 4 years ago, if I want to look at it that way, but it was 4 years for me to like find a path. I don't know. I don't know if that can make sense to you guys or not, because it's all this has to start making sense to me now, placing things certain ways. Is Beth back on? I don't think Beth is here. I have to go back into YouTube and try to find her. Someone said hi, Beth, but I don't see her. So I had that Kundalini. I actually had a sexual Kundalini experience with my catalyst almost 4 years ago. So I know that's different to what I'm experiencing now. So I don't quite know how to explain that to you yet. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, this is way different than I think what some of us are talking about, and I don't know how to explain that to you yet. There's a difference when the Kundalini, a sexual Kundalini, that's basically your 7 chakras. The Kundalini I'm talking about is all 12. It's the outer layers of your chakras. It's the aura of the energy outside. Your aura is a chakra. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do a special video for you guys on that, but I want to kind of label it like Energy 101 because I want that videos, like the type of video that can be circulated, not just tarot. So I want to be able to do that video the right way. But I know I really got to do that with you guys. I hope, I'm sure some of you have been waiting for that, you know. So I might even want to buy a few more books and try to figure out, or sit with whatever I'm in a little longer before I do that, because there's still stuff for me to agree and disagree. And I'm also here to challenge other people's words. Don't ask me why. You know what I mean? And not you guys. I'm talking like big people, big thoughts. You know what I mean? Like astrologers and people, like, I know I'm here to debate certain stuff. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to energy, like there's just something about me. I just know it. You know what I mean? I just do. Like there's stuff like I read in energy books now, and I still like disagree. Like, no way. Like people say like you have to reach the seventh chakra to have that spiritual connection. No, absolutely not. You know what I mean? Like to just say that spiritual connection is held within the crown chakra, to me is complete bullshit. And it's bullshit to spirit. See what I'm saying? So I know they want me to work with energy like this. I just have to figure out how. Like a whole new twist on energy. I got the goosebumps like you wouldn't believe. So it's that stuff, because like stuff I read, I just like I challenge it, you know, like, huh? Like no way. Um like it's like people say when you connect with certain layers, you're activating your divine grace. It's like, nah, it's always been there. It's always been there. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to necessarily, like opening your chakra is like the seventh one to open in order to reach like that spiritual plane, but like no way. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. There's a lot for me to still learn and challenge, and I don't know. I just know I'm here to challenge freaking energy. So I don't know what that's about, but I know I got a lot of research ahead of me. Like I truly believe meditation is a beautiful thing. Living in the moment is a beautiful thing, but that's how I know they want me to challenge this shit too, because how is it you're really channeling? You can always channel in the moment of peace, right? But like energy is not flowing through you when you're in a still space. So how are you challenging yourself? All you're doing in the meantime is calming yourself. You're bringing yourself to the moment. So it, to me, is kind of like a temporary fix, like a temporary addiction. I can't explain it, so don't take what I'm saying literally yet. They're still trying to get me to figure that part out, and I probably shouldn't even have said anything. But but I don't think anybody can go after what it is that they're gonna have me experience so I can teach, because somebody else would have already been teaching this shit if that was the case. Right? So I really don't gotta worry about anyone really stealing any of my ideas. So I don't know. I just know they're gonna challenge me with freaking energy. So we shall find out where that takes me. So, but basically, someone's being awakened more quicker. Don't you love me? Someone's being awakened more quicker than normal right now, which can be dramatic. I think that's why somebody's waiting in that cave, dancing around, making sure that there's something very harmonious about how something goes down. I can't figure that out yet either. But the fact that because this video is linked to the video I just did about channeling energy. So I just wanted to come on because I got that, like I said, I got that email for those who weren't here asking me, no, trying to tell me that you can only have a Kundalini through sex, and I was like, oh Jesus. Okay, so like another reason why I know I got to talk about energy more, but I've always worked with energy with you guys from day one, always reading universal energy, daily energy, daily tarot. Next thing you know, all these people I used to watch that never even did that now do all this shit. You know what I mean? I didn't have a reader that did daily jack shit for me when I started watching tarot 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's nice, but I look at shit like that too. Like I didn't have anyone that did daily or called it whatever it is they called it. But now all of a sudden in the last 6 months, everybody's doing fucking daily readings. Now working with energy on a daily level. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense to you. Like, hey, next 2 weeks or next, but more people are more doing dailies for you guys because knowing that energy shifts daily. You know what I mean? Like, I just think everyone thinks a Kundalini has got to be sexual. So it definitely does not. It can happen that way through a catalyst, which puts us stuck in energy of loving someone, holding on to someone for too long, obsessiveness, lust. That's what catalysts do. A lot of us are on this channel because of a catalyst, thinking it was a twin, because people want to start fucking naming people. But don't get me started with that shit either. Because if I guarantee there's only, I don't know, almost 30,000 subscribers, I'd say probably only 10% of that actually know your real twin. You just don't get to meet your twin just like that. When it come into your life was not for you to go through all this pain and waiting. No, it does not work that way. You know what I mean? Just doesn't. So it's more me teaching you guys to get out of a catalytic energy that you all think is your twin. Because I guarantee the ones that got themselves out of that situation, you still have gotten nowhere with that particular person. Or you're in the same fucking cycle thinking it's your twin. It's not. When you're a real twin, it's no. Nope. You're either on or off, and you're not going to be on and off, on and off, and on and off for fucking years. It's not a thing. You either come together or you don't. You guys are together for a purpose. It's not for you guys just to be lovers. You both have a very special skill, whether you're aware of it or not. And when you come together, you don't have to both be in the public, nothing. But when you come together, you guys are just, the power that you guys have to have such an effect on people is amazing. Somebody can work behind the scenes while the other one is in front of the crowd. It's things like that. People who pull each other. It's just the thoughts and energy of you guys when you're together. You leave legacies, So I do know that the universe years ago were definitely trying to get more to come out and connect, but it doesn't mean they do. You know what I mean? It would never be off and on, off and on, off and on. Maybe the first 6 months, 6 to 9 months, but I think it's more like a 3-month period of on, off, when you really come into contact. And from there, it would either just be completely shut down, or you would have contact. The two of you would be so amicable, or it would be you guys together, or you would definitely be working together. It wouldn't be years of bullshit, nonsense, sleeping with this one, sleeping with that one. Nope, that's your catalyst. Okay. And I guarantee 90% of my viewers are still dealing with the catalyst, or it was their catalyst and they're no longer with them. And to be honest with you, I think a majority of you, it's finding your life partner, which is most important to you guys, no matter who they are. So some unions can have more than one aspect, you know, like lovers, partners, could both be entrepreneurs, or have a business together, be different aspects of it, you know. But you wouldn't just be getting together to be lovers. No. You could have been brought together through sexual energy, but it's up to both of you to choose, because you'd both be fully aware of having a purpose. You don't have to know what it is, but you would both be fully aware that there was a purpose to this. So stop trying to figure out and let it just happen if that's the case. Because when we try to figure that shit out, that's when shit backfires. And a majority of you could just be friends. And there's such differences. There truly is. Age, money. Not maturity, though. You'd both be pretty complete and sure about yourselves. You know, but I just hope the brief description of what type of Kundalini awakening is happening, or already is now complete. But the other one, there's still another one that needs to go through this. Or I feel like they already went through their awakening, and it's more like, I feel like they already went through it. So I feel like both of you finished it. But like, one is just having a hard time going towards it, and the other one's more like, let's go. And that's why I feel like one of those blockages of the epiphany over the weekend actually was a massive breakthrough for somebody, because now if it was to come together, that other person would no longer have that blockage. Like, you'll both just be ready to go. You know what I mean? So some of you are still in the process of finishing whatever type of awakening you're going through, which I think majority is a Kundalini. And I think for the last couple months you would have been experiencing, you know, same of the same stuff I did, the spiritual depression and just happy, sad. There's so much, you know. But I think the other one already had like gone through that a while ago and knows what they want out of life, but is just not quite going towards it yet. You know what I mean? You're very welcome. So again, I think that's why there was some type of breakthrough or some type of blockage that is going to be extremely beneficial for the two of you, because there is there is some coming together for sure to get done what needs to get done. And I hate looking at it like that, but realistically and on a spiritual level, that is what it is, and there is a job to be done. And I just think you're lucky enough if you get love out of it too. I think it's a beautiful thing that you're getting both out of it. For the ones that are intimate and together, it's quite a blessing. So some people are definitely getting together in the next couple weeks. It's definitely be some type of reconciliation. And prepare yourselves for 2020, I'll tell you that. And others of you, I'm telling you, you're going to get brand new. And a few months down the road, you're going to realize why everything went down the way it went down. And a majority of you are getting ready for your life partner. I'll tell you that. But I feel like, I'm telling you, if you're at the point where I'm at too, where coming together with a twin, it's because of a purpose. You know there's work to do. It sounds so harsh, but it's the God honest truth, and I hope that you guys are blessed enough to have that love, and I think it's going to be easy for you guys to just let shit flow, and ideas will just come naturally. It's, you got to stop trying to figure out what exactly is the purpose, because that's part of some of the issues right now, you know. Can't stress yourself out, what am I supposed to do? Or if the two of you end up, I think if the two of you end up together, shit's just gonna come to you, the two of you, because you're connected, because you chose each other. And I don't think people realize that until it actually happens. Too many people trying to figure out what's the reason. Well, until the two of you are together and you're happy of the choices that you made to even get that far, you know, you don't need to figure that out, as long as you know there's a bigger reason. And like I said, you try to figure it out together, but you both have to connect on that level first, ready to come together. I think the person that's coming towards you, if this goes down for you, it is going to be a sudden, instant change. But you'd both be so excited. So it's a beautiful thing that's going down. That's for sure. All right. So, anywhoosie, I love you. So, some people, I know, here I go again. Some people's cycle are going to start that way, and then other people's cycle is going to start new and preparing you for your next cycle. So it's like the cycle never stops. We're just all in different waves of the cycle. So it's still beneficial to kind of know what type of energy is going around. At the end of the day, it's not, I need love. It's just not like that. You know? How do I want to explain that? I don't really need to explain that, I guess. If you're just watching tarot because you want to know what somebody's up to, or you just love someone so much, you got to know so you feel like you can help, you're not there yet. If you're using it as a different tool to help yourself, then you're there and ready. Or you're getting there and getting ready. I think another whole reason why I'm on this channel myself, why I'm here teaching, you know? Hi! How are you? How was your night? Give me kisses. Ben with you?
Yeah, I'm bringing him to work now, but at 1, I have a meeting at 1:30 with my teacher.
Okay. Alrighty, Schneidi.
Come on, Lucy. Come on, Lucy.
Grandpa home?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucy, go see Ben. Go ahead.
Come on. Lucy, come on.
She was like, yeah, I don't know.
You want you?
Hey guys. Yeah, so sorry, Lonnie. Lonnie just got home. She just walked in. I think a majority of you that have been on my channel too for a long time, you realize all this already. You're just kind of waiting for destiny to kick in. it just might not be exactly how you thought it was going to go down, because I surely knew a lot of this stuff before, but really thought it was going to be someone else, you know. And I really think with people that are really important, meant to be on your path, soulmates, whoever it is to you, right? It's such a out of the blue first experience. It's not just, I don't know how to explain it. What do you call that? Like not serendipitous. Well, yeah, but like that's not the word I'm looking for. It wasn't by chance, or because serendipitous is more like, oh, it's by, it could have went either way, but the two of your souls were pulled together, so that bond was recreated, you know what I mean, like back into fruition. But I mean, not back into fruition, back into, I guess, curiosity. I'm not, you know, I don't, it's kind of hard for me to place it, what I'm exactly seeing, feeling, you know. Like my catalyst was more like, it was more sexual than anything, you know what I mean? And then it turns more into like obsession and lust, and I want that feeling again, because we had a Kundalini awakening too. Who the fuck wants to let go of that type of dick, you know? Just call it as it is. But that mesh is not the same as the feeling you get with the right one, I'll tell you that. It's the catalyst is strictly sexual, okay? But then when you meet that right one, you get love, you feel it differently. I can't even explain it to you. It's just wonderful. And you get the good everything. The good dick, the good coochie. You get it all. You really do. You know what I mean? You don't just get one thing. You don't do pros and cons with the right person. You don't do, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. I'm telling you, like, if you have this twin, this life partner, if you were to reach out to them, no matter how angry or something, this person would absolutely hands down reply, whether they were pissed off, sad. If you told this person you needed them, and even if they couldn't come to you, I'm telling you, they would still reply to you and say, I couldn't or did it. I'm telling you, like, it's not like you think it is. This person would be here for you, hands down, in a heartbeat. They would figure out a freaking way to move mountains for you. And I think that's why you guys are in caves, like one's dancing around, because there's no way in hell somebody's going home without someone. I'm telling you. It's pretty powerful what I'm seeing, feeling through these messages. I think that's a lot more powerful, and I want to be able to express that too in certain ways, but like I at the same time don't want somebody to interpret something and take something and think it's their scenario. I think for me, I break it down in different ways through different videos, so it's more enlightening for you. So I do think if you were sexual with a twin right off the bat, your partnership will end up being like that. I think you would decide to be friends right off the bat, and if there's too much flirtation and all that, like, it's meant for you guys to be lovers too, you know what I mean? Because the majority of you just end up being friends. Is Beth watching? You guys still talking about Beth? Oops, what did I just do? God, I hope I just didn't remove somebody else either. What do we mean by going home? it's like you don't live in this realm. Like you do, but the two of you together don't. You know, it's like a feeling of wanting to go home. It's unconditional love. You know, it's um like you ever catch yourself, like there's been times like throughout my journey, like last year, where I would find myself in bed crying and be like, I just want to go home, and I didn't know what it meant. Like going home is like now I'm home, fully awoken, you know, like home, content. No matter what happens in life, you see the good, or you're content. You go certain ways or certain approaches. You don't worry if somebody is gonna go on the journey with you. You just go. You know, but I do, the ones that are in the cave, they'll be going home together because the connection will be coming together. And so, but in someone who's got to be so convinced, they just know, you know. But how many times, I also need you to acknowledge, if you've been saying this for 2 years, I just know. No, if you've been holding off, it's not your person. You know, like if you let someone go completely, and you could be like, I know this person will come back one day. There's a difference between inner knowings. I think for the group of people that have a purpose right now, are getting on their purpose, and it involves it being with someone else, you would have met this person within the last 6 months or year, because you would have met them in the new cycle, which really for a majority of us started off in the beginning of summer, kicked off in the beginning of summer for this group. Whomever's coming in and coming home, I think was in the last 6 months of a cycle. So whoever you've been interacting with in the last 6 months. Because I think a majority of you are going to be shocked, because the majority of you, someone, it's brand new that's coming in, and you're going to be like, holy shit. Like, I can't believe this whole time I was really willing to settle with this or settle for that. I'm telling you. Not all of you, but a majority of you, this is when this cycle started. Because you can time cycles. And I don't want to discourage any of you either, because honest to God, you might be discouraged right now, but this new cycle opening is bringing in this life partner. I wouldn't be here if you guys weren't here to learn these lessons from me that I learned too, and are ready for a new cycle. It's just that simple, you know. And I'm also activating the right people, the right times, that type of stuff, without even being aware of it myself. So prepare yourselves for a new cycle, whether it's from somebody from the past or somebody brand new that comes in, and it's all about working together, figuring out what's necessary, what's not. I think a lot of people are going to be shocked. It's 90% of you are thinking it's one person, and I swear to you, it's somebody that you either met in the last 6 months, or it's going to be somebody brand new that comes into your cycle, because it's based around the planets on when things come in and out, your charts, right? You need all these moons to come in and out. You need that in order for things to, again, come in and out. If some of you notice things are much stronger between you and a certain person around the moon calendars, You know what I mean? I think a majority of you work with the lunar calendar. I've picked up on that in the last few months, those really strong connections. You will notice things going down. It seems to be more around the new moons than anything. But that just depends on who you are. And it doesn't mean because it's new. It just, because it's the new moon, they come and go. The moon's always there, right? So there's something about lunar calendars with you guys. And with my certain person that I know, with certain stuff, that will never be out of my life regardless. Because not everybody is on a purpose with someone. A lot of, well, I don't know about a lot of you, but some of you, the journey you take yourself for a very long time, and some of you are meant to just take it alone and be that type of powerful person without that type of relationship. You don't necessarily need to have that, but even I notice certain things and realize like, oh shit, that new moon is, I even realized the lunar calendar. It's not as random. When I look back at certain dates and stuff. But some of you are meant to take this journey by yourselves. The journey is meant to be taken by yourself to discover who you are. And then once you figure out that, whatever you figure out on this earth to who's going to be our next boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife, that's not a thing. You know what I mean? It's, it's just not. So please get that out of your head. That was a little bit of a wake-up call for some of you. People feel like they can't be content unless they have that other person for comfort. It doesn't work that way. You gotta know how to self-comfort, take care of yourself, say the right things to yourself, be okay being independent, having a voice, being content. There's so many ups and downs. But anywho, I love you guys so much. And I've had you plugged in, and it keeps going down, down, and down. The energy is just, it's too much, and my phone's on fire. So I love you guys. Again, I hope it helped with the whole type of awakening that's happening right now for you guys. Coming into your own, coming into a new reality. And right now it seems to be contentment. If you find yourself, I think you're gonna find yourself content a lot quicker than you assumed. There's something with some of you guys, instant manifestation. And that's gotta be exciting. Because I haven't like really experienced that yet. I've been experiencing a lot of luck and certain stuff like that, but which is a blessing. But I haven't experienced the instant manifestation like that I feel like is definitely right around the corner for some of us. I just hope I'm with it. I just hope I'm in that corner. Just like we all do. You know what I mean? Wish for the best. And whatever comes at this time comes at that time. That will be the best for you. And you just really need to look at it like that too. So I really hope you guys have that type of outlook on life right now. You know what I mean? Jelly beans. So I'm going to leave it at that. You know, I don't really know what type of, I don't know what type of example you want me to give. I think you might have just stepped in because I just kind of gave a lot of different examples of kind of what's going down right now currently. And I really think the the biggest thing right now is finding that contentment. And once you reach that contentment, that's what's most important. But it's like a different type of contentment. Oh, the instant manifestation. Well, okay. So there's just something instant that's coming like overnight. You know how people be like, "Oh, you have an epiphany or the tower comes in or something like this." But like this is instant manifestation. Like whatever it's been manifesting is going to come in, and then something's going to take off like so quick where it's like it's instant. Like your whole life just changes in an instant. It could take like a month or two for everything to fall together, maybe even only a couple weeks to fall together. Once the two of you, because this is two people coming together for a purpose, once that gets figured out and you guys can come to terms with certain stuff. See, I don't want to backtrack, but like it's kind of what I explained within the video of knowing you both have a purpose, but you stop trying to figure it out, because when you have a purpose, trust me, the universe is going to put things in your face and place you exactly where you need to be. So you don't need to sit here and figure it out. You just have to know what you want and go after it. And that's one of the holdups. Somebody knows what they want, or two people know exactly what they want, but one of them is not going after what they want. And until that happens, you know, the other one's dancing around in the cave. So this video is linked to the one I just did earlier that was live when I was channeling messages, and it's also linked to Universal Energy that is still uploading. Okay. And within that video, it explains instant manifestation. It's just something that's going to come in instantly and change your world. You know, the process doesn't have to be overwhelming, or I mean it can be. It just depends on how it's designed to go down. But it's one of those things, you're just, yeah, no, there won't be a rush. It won't be anything like that. It would just be, your life will just instantly change. You'll look at something even differently, and then when you're on the same page as the universe, that page is going to turn, and it will be amazing. But it will be like, it would just be instant. I can't explain it any other way. Like some of you are getting an instant makeover. It will be that drastic. Certain wishes, you know what I mean? Like if you've always wished for contentment and certain stuff, you're going to start realizing certain stuff has been coming into play. You've been getting little things here and there, like wishes actually coming true. And I don't even know if you guys even see it yet or can acknowledge it. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. I think there was a massive shift over the weekend for some of you. And it's just going to become even more real and obvious. Okay. So I love you guys. I gotta let this charge. You're very welcome. I love all of you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye, guys.